Hi guys. So this is the second behind the scenes or third of All Eyes on Me. The last one I did, I looked at that mountain of insecurities, and you guys wanted to see this scene, the one with the guy getting shocked. So let's watch that now. Nice. That's pretty simple. It's a pretty simple scene. So we have Alice here. She's on a little podium. And then she plays through her animation, and then it's kind of over. And then we go to, I think this is, I don't know who this is. Who is it? I think this is the Piper? Maybe? Let me check. It's the Piper, apparently. And so we have him, and he's just in his little thing. There's this foam model. And so he kind of shakes around a little bit. Let's actually look closer at his model. So here we go. This is the Piper. I made him in about a half a day, I think. I think it took about half a day. But here he is. It's looking pretty nice. It's fully rigged with my newest rig. So it works, interchangeably with everything else I've made. This leg doesn't have any bends because it's a peg. And then this leg has this bend. Yeah, pretty nice, simple stuff. It's all, oh gosh. Okay. So, yeah, it's pretty nicely rigged. There's nothing crazy going on here. His mouth is actually kind of cool. So my new rig allows for this. So I can, open the mouth, right, normally. And it has, cool jaw. But I can also pull the jaw. Where's the jaw? Oh, those are the teeth. I think the jaw is right in here. Yeah, I can get this. I can pull it, and I can, stretch it to, crazy lengths. And it holds fairly well. The rig isn't designed to go this far open, but I can do that. And when this renders, it'll look perfect. And it doesn't show in viewport, but yeah, it can open up crazily. And so I can also move around the jaw like this. I can do crazy stuff that wasn't possible with any other rig. As example, this eye is kind of cool. I used texture paint on top of so I used a higher resolution map on top of a lower resolution map to paint in this detail. I did this a lot with bench characters. We got the eyebrow controls, pretty nice. My design for eyebrows, the kind of thing I invented, where you can just do this. Pretty nice, simple stuff. And then of course the eyes adjust themselves. So the eye shape adjusts, to fit the eye movement. And this eye thing will pull in certain ways. It's kind of cool. And we have the blinking stuff, and yeah, pretty nice rig overall. It didn't take too long. It took about half a day, which isn't too bad. And so yeah, let's go back to the main scene. So try to let's see if we can do a cool transition here. If I zoom in here, like that. So here we are. And so anyway, there's the model, and then we can check out Alice actually. So let's go check out Alice. So here's Alice. It's a pretty simple rig. Nothing too special about this besides the mouth is kind of unique. Again, there's the eye thing where you can see it fully take place. It's super useful, and you can of course control it with these sliders over here. That's a part of my rig. Actually I haven't rigged them to work with that, so never mind. This halo is kind of cool. So it's built on this bone, which can rotate it like this, and then I can do effects where I can rotate it like this, and then I can have this side do the opposite movement, which can get that sliding effect, which is really nice. There's nothing too special about this rig. And so yeah, it's kind of cool. There's the full model. Looks pretty awesome. She actually doesn't have a tongue, fun fact. I didn't think I'd need a tongue. I regretted that decision. But yeah, I finished the video anyway. So back to the video. So the camera pans out, and it does this cool smooth thing. So this is when Eevee motion blur was added, and so I was on a thing where I did. What are you doing? Okay, I'm back. So yeah, what was this thing? I completely lost my train of thought. But oh yeah, so Eevee motion blur was just added. Well, I mean the object motion blur And so I was kind of on this roll of doing only one-shot camera angles or one-shot scenes, which is, I don't usually do that. I usually will do 2 to 3 shots per scene, just, you know, to save time. But this is all one shot. And yeah, it's kind of cool. And so, yeah, so here's the thing. And so there's not too much effects in here besides that, the big effect. And so I'm going to break it down. So basically how I did it is this is a giant plane here. Let me find it. So it's kind of hard to see, but I think it's this guy. Maybe, probably not. Nope, that's the fog. Let's hide the fog. This right there. Yeah, so here it is. So let's isolate this. And so it's pretty much what I did is, let's switch over to the nodes here. And so in the nodes, what I did was actually, here, watch this, ready? We can split the viewport right up here. Where is the split thing? Oh, we're in full object mode, so we can't do that. Let's just go like this. There we go. So, and then we'll jump to an isolation view. Okay. So, what I did is I took a texture and there's the noise. And so I took a noise texture and I offsetted it with a normal vector map, and so it looks like this, where it's kind of noisy. And so what that does is allows me to put in a gradient texture, which will create this. And so see how it's like all rickety and roughy? And then I multiplied the values, and so everything's bigger. There it is. And then I added a modular, the percent sign. And so that would create this. So if the number, you know how modulars work, right? And then I just put it through a color ramp right here. Oop, I added one. Put it through a color ramp. And then that allowed me to create these singular lines. And then I used that into here where I could control it with a sphere. So when this loads, there was an object that I can use to control how big I wanted the sparks. And so that let me animate them. So if we go to here, see how they're like kind of somewhat approaching, and see how they get bigger? There's an object that's hidden that is moving in and out, and that's what is doing that effect. And then I just mixed it with a transparency and that node, a transparency and emission. And then of course all of the node values are animated with this time node. And so that's how that works. Nothing too special. And then there's 2 layers of these. So there's this layer right here, and then there's this layer right here. And then in addition to that, the chair itself, the table itself, I think has some electricity. Let me check. Nope, it doesn't. The chair doesn't, but the room does. So if we go here and open up here, let me find a good example of where this happens. And so right here, let's see. Yeah, right here. I don't know if you can see that right there. There's some electricity on the floor that's just sitting there, and then it gets animated. These are animated with offsetting this right here. So this controls, let me select it, there we go. This controls where it is, right? You can't see it on here, but it's right there. It's just empty. And that controls where it is. And so if we go in the nodes, let's isolate this actually. That'll help a lot. Nope, not that. Not the one time we needed that. Here we go, isolate this. And so you can see this node here. It pretty much does a similar thing. So it takes a wave texture, which looks great, and it will take a certain level of this right there, and then it takes that level and it multiplies it by a gradient texture, which allows me to control where it is. Then it just gets mixed in with one of these glowy bits, and yeah, that's where that comes from. And then this just gets animated across the scene, and it's pretty simple. And then there's some strobe lights up here, which you can see right there. And that's just this light right here, which is a strobe light. It's set to go off. It turns on and off every 2 frames. And you'll notice that if I did every 1 frame, then the people who watch it in 30 FPS will lose out on the strobe effect. So I did 2 frames, so that if you watch it at 30 FPS, you still get a strobe. So yeah. And then there's some fog here too that comes in, that plays a role in the electricity, and that's pretty much it. And then there's this effect right here where, see how it goes black? And so this is just a holdout texture. If you don't know what a holdout node is, it basically just takes the color of the sky and inputs it into the material. And so it's completely transparent, according to the sky. And so this is useful because if I set the sky to transparent, look at that. It now creates a mask. And so what this will do is, when I render this out, this will be transparent. No need to, mask it out, and no need to do crazy, stuff. It just works. And so that's how that's done. And then I can use that for the transition. It's really, really simple. And so yeah, that's pretty much the scene. This is gonna come out today, and then tomorrow I'm gonna have the, what's it called? I'm gonna cover all of the mirror scenes, the scenes where she destroys the mirrors, because those are very interesting. That'll come out tomorrow. So yeah, let me know what other scenes you want me to look into. And yeah, bye bye.